You don't have to be a horror film buff to know the legend of Freddy Krueger and the nightmares he visited on Elm Street. A face that would haunt children before they went to sleep, and while they slept, too. In the Isle of Jersey, a mask-wearing maniac with nails protruding from his clothing incited his own kind of horror, luring children from their beds. I actually think we're going to enjoy this one.
Is it a blue raspberry?
Nope.
I kind of want to throw that in my monster.
It kind of looks, it reminds me of blue jello, which I love blue jello.
Can we just go ahead and get on with the surprise shot so we can try this one?
Yeah, who's it for?
This one's for Megan.
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 Surprise shots. Surprise shots. We don't know what they are because they're a surprise. I still can't believe I just thought of that off the cuff. Actually, I can, but like, it's pretty catchy.
It was good for our first
thought.
No, that was since episode 2. You didn't do it on episode 1.
No, we didn't have a surprise shot during episode 1.
I think because episode 1, we recorded for like 8 fucking hours because we know what the fuck we're doing. Well, we still don't really know what we're doing, but...
This smells good. It smells like an icy.
Cheers.
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 Ching, ching,
Ching.
ching, ching.
Oh, I like that. I could drink that. Like straight. What is that?
Oh, yeah.
You want to guess?
I don't know.
Popsicle something.
Berry lemonade. Smirnoff.
I like that. As
Smirnoff.
vodka.
Yeah.
You know what?
That was delicious.
I thought about getting myself a Margaritaville thing so I can make
we
frozen
should just
drinks.
see if John's dad still has.
Did I ever tell you that story?
Yes.
Yes. It's epic, actually.
Yes. But that would be great. Like, we could make like an icy.
Oh
Like
my
with
God.
the frozen ice with
You
that.
should ask my mom about that. She'll be
Should
like...
I ask your dad? Do you guys have a margarita?
No, my
maker?
my dad won't, like, probably not... He'll deny it or pretend not to remember
But
it.
if they still have it, I'll pay them
No,
for it.
they don't have it.
Oh. Well, I'm going to get something similar.
You should look and see if they have it on like Facebook Marketplace or something.
Yeah.
Well, just buy one at Walmart. That's where they sell them, right?
I'll look on Amazon. I think they're not too expensive, but they're like... First, what I need to do is get a real blender because I don't have a blender and I want to start making smoothies.
I love the
we have an old blender.
No, we don't.
It cracked.
But I do like the bullet a lot more than the Ninja because you can just keep
Take
it in
the
the cup as it goes and it blends really well.
Yeah, I'll have to get one.
All right, welcome to Talk Murder Me. This is a sort of a short episode. Definitely want to go to talkmurder.com. You got to see this.
I thought he was going to say definitely want to go to Taco Bell because I feel that. And all.
You know what was funny? I was also craving that earlier today, but we've got food.
Yes.
I'm trying to help us by
Yes, I need
buying food
I need to
for
be-
us so we don't order out every single Sunday.
Yeah. This is our second Sunday in a row that we aren't.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying.
Yeah, and it sucks. What the fuck? I'm hung.
No, I like it because I can come here and have like a good meal. And like.
We had the chicken pot pie last week.
Mhm.
This week we've got it's different than lasagna.
I don't like this.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
Screw you. You take care of dinner. Go ahead. Fend for yourself. Provide for us.
Look at me. Don't you smile at me and expect me. Don't you do that. This is not Russia. Do not smile at me.
All right. So, before we get started, I want to shout out some comments on the blog, talkmurder.com. That's where I blog. If you leave a YouTube comment or whatever, which I need to start putting out the YouTube snippets again. Erica says on the Flan and Lighthouse. I love that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Did you like that one?
Yeah, I did. I think that the movie that we watched, though, I think that we needed to watch the other one with Gerard Butler.
Yeah, it was probably more accurate to the story.
It was still good.
I know.
Just bizarre.
It was wackadoodle. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
I feel like as he's getting older, he's making these weird artsy movies.
Who, Robert Pattinson?
No.
Both.
No.
William Dafoe.
William Dafoe.
Robert Pattinson's the next Batman. I can't wait for that to come out.
Hey guys, totally agree with Jen 1000%. Fun size candy tastes gross.
Yes.
What?
Yes, I remember
It's the same
that.
fucking shit.
No, it tastes different.
That's like the people are like, oh, the Twix are made in different factories. Remember that was a big thing?
Yes, that was a commercial. I almost feel guilty because it sounds like the argument that character macaroni and cheese tastes different than the regular noodles. But
the shapes.
You
I
think
know,
the shapes do taste different?
not that they taste different, but they add a different flavor palette on your tongue. I think the way you absorb.
See, I
The
don't.
sauce.
I don't.
High.
No, I don't think they taste different. But the fun size candy does taste
Dude,
different.
it's the same shit.
No.
What the fuck?
No, because you get smaller. Like the proportions are not correct.
She didn't say anything about my fun size. Remember I said they should be called mean size.
Oh yeah.
Especially the Reese's. I have no idea why, but I refuse to eat them. Side note, I also think white chocolate is fake and so gross. You and I are not friends anymore, Eric. I love white chocolate.
Well, white
I didn't know
chocolate
you
is
loved white chocolate. It's not chocolate.
it's made
Oh.
it's made from chocolate fat.
Well, what's the cookie and cream bars?
Yeah,
That's white chocolate.
well, that's what I like.
I do love
yeah,
the
those are
cookies
good.
and cream.
I like those. But
That
I
is a
won't-
good candy
But
bar.
I don't usually eat white chocolate like alone.
In regards to the story, does anyone know if this story is where the phrase, quote, the wreck of the Hesperus, end quote, comes from? Probably because the captain's ship was called the Hesperus.
I don't.
But I've never heard of that.
I've never heard that phrase.
And I feel like you just made that up, but that's cool. She says, my nana always says that if someone
Well,
looks
could be Nana too.
my nana always says that if someone looks tired or sick, would be interested to know. That's really interesting, actually. I do not know. I mean, the ship, the Hesperus, was the ship that captain was driving, boating,
Commanding.
commanding,
Thank you.
but it didn't crash, at least here. I didn't go into the history of if it crashed later down the road, but maybe it did. Maybe St. Flannan got aboard, crashed it. Holy shit. That's crazy. And she also says, John, and there's no H in my name, so obviously you're not talking about me. John, I am officially requesting the story of Christopher McNabb and Courtney Bell in Georgia. I know these people through family, and it is one of the most messed up stories I've ever heard. Well, apparently you haven't heard our Red Ripper story we just did.
Well, no, she hasn't
Stay
because I've already done it.
Missy says, I just found this podcast and I'm loving it. There's an interesting case about the West Memphis 3. Yeah, I'm not sure if y'all covered it yet. It is highly publicized. Yeah, I was going to do it. My mom brings it up every time. She's like, oh my God, this episode of True Crime Garage was so good. I'm like, Mom, what the fuck? Stop telling me about these other fucking podcasts.
You know what's interesting though is that even though there are other true crime podcasts out there, and even if like people cover the same cases, it's always different.
So different.
You know, the way that
Yeah, like I cover them correctly.
yes.
I'm just kidding.
You know what, John? I appreciate that you don't just look at the headlines.
Yes.
Well, I will say that I don't listen to podcasts at all, but I feel like a lot of these true crime, because they always like have the girls drinking wine or the guys drinking beer, and they always just pretend, dude, we actually get sloshed. So tonight's story is for our good friend Malachi. Like I said, this Talk Murder to Me podcast. I'm sitting here with Jen and Nicole, and you can find all these photos on talkmurder.com. You definitely want to see it 100%. Let's get started. Very short case, not even a murder per se, but it's still extremely interesting. So let's get on with it. And there's Katie and Christopher on live chat. Thank you guys for joining us just in time. Now, this is, you don't have to read this, but we'll read the headline there.
Girl was trussed up and raped, court is told.
What does trussed up mean?
Like dressed up?
Well, so I should say, tonight we're going to the Isle of Wight.
Oh.
Tell us about that, Nicole. Do you know where that's at, Jen?
Is it in the United Kingdom?
Sort of. The Isle of Wight is an island off the south coast of England. It's known for its beaches and seafront.
Promenades.
Oh, I thought it said pomegranates.
No.
Dinosaurs still walk here. Holy shit. Oh, wait, it didn't say that. What does it say about dinosaurs? Dinosaur remains and fossils can be seen in areas like Compton Bay. Can you describe your new boyfriend?
Oh, no. He looks like the statue of David with a skin faced on.
Oh, man, that's a beautiful sight.
I don't like that at all.
You know, this is a mask, right? This isn't.
Is this a human flesh mask?
I don't like this. Can we move on?
This is creepy as fuck.
Tonight we're talking about the Beast of Jersey. This is a beautiful picture. I love this mask. So can you describe this mask for our audience, Nicole?
It looks like there's a crown on top with rope, fake hair.
It's a wig.
A wig. It looks like it's taped onto a statue. Like the eyes.
This might either be the detective of the case did wear it, but for some reason, I don't know why he put it on, but the pictures I'm going to show you, it is on a mannequin. This is the full suit. So it's a full costume.
Oh, no.
Wow.
So describe this. Y'all don't just be like, wow.
I mean, it's like there's a mask and it possibly is human skin. I'm not... I don't know. I don't know what to make of this.
Obviously, you've never wore human skin as a mask.
That is correct.
That is an accurate statement.
Yeah.
100% true.
All right, tonight we're going to the island of Jersey, not New Jersey, but
Jersey.
In the UK.
Jersey.
The UK, the island of Jersey.
No, the island of Wight.
The island of Wight. Like I said, this is a very short episode. There's no information besides the book that the guy... So it's a guy that got arrested for wearing this. And when he was arrested, his wife found out that he's been, for the last 15 years, has been a rapist, a serial rapist. So this is a serial rapist.
He's a serial rapist who wears this.
Yes.
While he
rapes?
out.
Yes, but...
Ooh.
Well, there's more to it we're going to get into, but the only book about it, the only real source, and I've scoured newspapers, like the one that I just showed you, there's nothing, man. There's nothing on it. The only real source is the book of the wife or the ex-wife, once he fucking did this. She wrote a book about it, and I wanted to get it, but that shit is fucking $500. On like Amazon, and it's nowhere else. You can't fucking print it or whatever. It's not on like all those dark sites that I'm always downloading shit from. So it's like, fuck it, you know.
He would wear this costume. Who do we even know who this person is?
Yeah, no, we know who he is. So we're actually...
look at that spike bracelet.
Is that human skin?
Jen, very good. Say that again.
That spike bracelet. It's like 90s...
Yeah, like punk rock type of shit.
Yeah.
Those are actually nails. So
did he attack his victims with them?
No, but I did see in one report that he wore them in case he was arrested. Because if a cop grabs your arm, he's also got them on his shoulder too, the nails. I'll show you in a second. But if a cop grabs your arm, that shit's going right through his hand, dude.
Yeah.
But those are real nails. Those aren't like punky Hot Topic. Or what's your mom call it? The circus?
No, the circus is the parade. The parade, which is the people that walked around the mall on Friday nights. That was the parade. And yes,
Which is like your sister, right?
No. They frequented Hot Topic.
I buy all my clothes at Hot Topic. The one that says "Daddy's little slut" on it.
Stop. I did buy some piercings at Hot Topic, like some earrings at Hot Topic. I want to get another piercing, I think.
We're actually going to Jersey in the UK, July 10th, 1971. He wasn't wearing this at the time, but he was arrested wearing this. And the reason he was arrested is because the same night there was a body found. Now, he, like I said earlier in the last episode, I believe, he didn't actually murder anyone. He is just a serial rapist. And that is why, and he didn't know about it, obviously, because he wouldn't be out. He was actually coming back from what he told the officer was a, quote, sex orgy. And this stuff was in his pocket. So all of this stuff was stuffed in his pocket. The car that he was driving was stolen. This was July 10th, 1971. So it was a roadblock. They were trying to find the killer of this random little girl. And I didn't get into her case because this is not this is not the person who killed her. But this guy just so happened to be driving a stolen car, and he he fled the roadblock, when they tell you to slow down or whatever. He thought that the whole thing was there for him, and it wasn't. So he fled, he sped away, and then that's when the police chased him, brought him out the car, and that's when they found the mask. That's when he's arrested. That's when they started questioning him. It's like, what are you doing with this mask? Oh, I'm coming from a sex orgy. And then once in questioning, they started to figure out that this guy has been raping numerous children for the past 15 years.
Terrible.
So, yeah. Detective Inspector George Shuttler. Now, he was the main guy that his whole job was to find this man. He said, quote, I had had nightmares about him and I had dreamt about him. He looked exactly like the man I knew I wanted. It was a tremendous relief to know he had been caught. So like I said, he was driving a stolen car. I saw another report that he looked down beside him and saw a raffia cross from Palm Sunday. I'm not religious, so I'm not of that religion, so I don't know. And it upset him, so he sped through a red light. But then another conflicting report said that he sped through a police checkpoint, so either one of those. Officers noted that on his jacket that he was wearing, he had nails protruding, which I'm going to show you. Actually, you can see him right there in that photo. Look at the lapel of his jacket there. Do you see on the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you see those? Those are the same nails. And on his wrist, he had the armband of nails. So you definitely want to see this photo at talkmore.com. It is Jen's background on her computer. It's creepy, man. It's creepy.
It is creepy.
This is not human flesh at all. It's plastic, but the mask is fucking creepy. It's
Michael Myers-esque.
Yeah, very Michael Myers. And it comes with a wig. It comes with a wig. You could get the wig that goes on top, and the mask is just scary, man. It's fucking scary. It's just so fucking scary. But there's a specific reason that he wore this. Now, this is the guy that was arrested. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Looks like a nice family man.
Exactly. Dapper man. This is the guy that every time another rape occurred, he was in the pub like everyone else saying, I'm going to fucking get that guy. Who is this guy? He was the first one to always say that, and he just wanted to revel in it. Now, I mean, you see him here, happy family, child, wife. It looks like he's dapper looking. Like, this isn't the same guy, but apparently it is. This is a closer up the bracelet there. You can see, look at those fucking things. This is on a mannequin. So like I said, you got to see this mask. It's creepy, man.
Yeah.
It's so fucking creepy. Now, if you want to read this, Naquiz, this is from the Evening Standard, 13 December 1971.
It was stated that Mr. Paisnel wore a jacket with 1-inch nails protruding from it and nailed wristbands when he was arrested by police after a car chase. He is alleged to have said that he was going to an orgy. Detective Constable Barry Simpson said that Mr. Paisnel told him that a mask and wig he carried were used at meetings of a secret society to which he belonged. The society held the orgies.
Yeah, so I probably should have mentioned his name. This guy his name is Edward Paisnel. I believe that's how you say it. His wife, Joan, which you saw the picture there of his wife, Joan, she actually is the one that wrote the only book about this case. This case isn't really well known. It probably wouldn't be known at all if it wasn't for the mask, to be honest. In fact, I had a real hard time finding any newspaper articles about this prior to him being caught. They would hardly ever mention the mask. And the reason that is very simple. Where he was doing this is called the Holiday Island. Tourism is the makeup of the economy here at the island. They didn't want this shit getting out, especially his creep fucking with his mask. Holy shit. He lived with his wife, Joan. They actually took in orphan children together. So the one photo you saw was an orphan child. He lived with his wife, and the town is actually spooky in itself. Grooville. Grouville. Grooville. Freaking creepy. When they raided his home, this is his home. Pretty nice home.
Yeah.
In the back, behind a secret cellar, he had a whole shrine set up for Satan. And he was black magic worshiping.
Wow.
So about the black magic thing, when he saw the cross, and this is from the Daily Mirror, it says that when confronted with a cross made of raffia, Paisnel's eyes bulged, his face turned red, and he started shaking and chuckling. Paisnel is alleged to have said, quote, "Our master would laugh very long and hard at this. I'm not afraid of the cross. There is a much more powerful emblem than that. Our cocoon is getting larger. Your world is shrinking," end quote. Freaking nuts. But at night, Jekyll became Hyde. It's talking about how good of a dad he was and a husband. He would worship at his black magic shrine, then set off to seek his next victim, end quote. That's from the Sydney Morning Herald, 1st December 1971. The whole span of the rapes lasted for a decade, an entire decade. And do you want to know how he did it? Because it is fucking creepy to shit out. He claimed that he is the direct ancestor of, and I heard this guy's name before, but I'd never done his story. It's one of those, Eldon stories or whatever, olden stories. Baron Gilles de Reyes. He lived in a castle. It's one of those old-timey stories, but it was true. This guy, de Reyes, lived in a castle, and he murdered over 1,000 children for pleasure. This guy claims he's the direct descendant of him.
So he felt like that gave him like ability and authority to do his crimes.
Exactly. Now, the kids were the ones that they were the victims, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I would do it. He would put the mask on after he drove to a victim's house, park a little bit away, put his getup on, his whole kit and caboodle, the whole thing you see here. He would climb in the window just like a fucking fairy tale. He would take a nylon rope. Literally, he would take it out of his pocket. It was already looped. He would wrap it around the sleeping kid's neck.
Oh, no.
This is how he did it. He would wrap it around the sleeping kid's neck and then pull him, drag him all the way back out the window and back to a secret location where he would rape them. Then he would drag them back like pulling a pig that's, in Scotland, you got the sheep or whatever, and you're pulling it just like that. And the kids would follow because they would think that this was like, in an 8-year-old's mind, fucking crazy. Think about seeing this motherfucker. You wake up at 3 a.m. and that's the first thing you see. And then there's a nylon rope attached around your neck. And he's not saying anything. He's just kind of tugging. And you just follow him. Fucking goddamn nuts. One 15-year-old victim said that after she had been dragged away, quote, "I couldn't breathe, and he told me not to scream. Then he put a rope around my neck and pulled me to my feet," end quote. In one terrifying incident, this one mother and daughter recalled him coming into their home with the mother. She had a 14-year-old daughter, and she says, quote, "I heard somebody in the living room. A man appeared and grabbed me. He was gagging her. He tied her hands as he was gagging her." Now he's talking about the mother here. The daughter runs to the bedroom, and then she actually comes out because the mother keeps screaming. The daughter runs outside. The mother escapes, barely. Quote, "I ran down the lane calling to her," she said, "but it was useless." The mother runs to a neighbor's home to get the police. She gets back to her home, and she was there, and her daughter was in the home, and she said, quote, "I've been raped, but thank goodness, mother, you're alive," end quote. That's freaking nuts. Right when this happened, and this is a very small little island, there was a man, and this is the man here. His name is Alphonse Lee Gastelos. He was cleared immediately, but he's very eccentric. And the townsfolk immediately thought this was the guy. It is a very small island.
Right.
Very small. So they immediately think this is the guy doing it. Now, they can't even really prove, besides the rape test and stuff like that, you know, the guy's wearing a mask, whatever. They're just hearing what their 8-year-old kids are saying. Oh, there's this guy that took me out in a mask. I don't know if I was dreaming or not. Like, it was just, you know, like a fucking fairy tale. Anyway, the townspeople got together. They thought this guy was doing the crimes. He was actually cleared. He had a complete alibi. He was cleared right after the first two happened, but he was harassed by his direct neighbors and everyone in the town. They threw rocks through his window. They would threaten him. So this guy, he said that he was called the, quote, loneliest man in the world. He goes to a very small, it's a rock. And I'll show you a picture of it. It's a private island. It's a half-acre rock. And he lived there for 10 years without any house or without anything. He just picked up and took in his rowboat and moved to this rock. And he lived there, and he almost died plenty of times, but he would not come back to his house, even though he was cleared. Even after this guy was caught, he didn't come back. But anyway, if you want to read this.
The strange, stocky little character had just survived his 9th winter nightmare as the only inhabitant of the Ecker House, a rocky crag jutting out of the heaving seas 8 miles from Jersey, almost midway between here and the French coast. He fled there in 1961, scorned, then condemned by frightened, suspicious, and angry Jersey people, he claims. And even though all Jersey now knows that Alphonse is guilty of nothing more than eccentricity, and many would welcome him back to his homeland, he refuses to return. I shall die here in peace, away from the wagging tongues, he says.
Yeah, so Sydney on live chat says, damn, how eccentric do you have to be accused of those crimes? Apparently, they were going to freaking slaughter this guy. He would not come back. He was living on a half-acre rock. This is in the fucking and there were winters that went by where he almost died. It was so fucking cold. There's no food out there. He would have to catch fish. Like, this dude just fucking got in a rowboat and said, fuck it. Y'all don't believe me? I'm out of here. And I think he did that because they would fucking slaughter him.
Life out here has been good to me, he says. I had a heart attack about 16 years ago and didn't expect to last another year. But I slowly recovered and now I'm in good health. That's because there are no doctors out here to give me pills that only deceive you and make you think you're recovering. Then there's the fresh air and the peace. Nobody to bother me. No, I have nothing to complain about except perhaps the weather in winter. There are 50-foot waves, howling winds, and freezing temperatures. I almost froze to death that first winter. That was because I hadn't thought of an adequate eating system.
What do you think? So this guy basically over a span of a decade would rape little children. He was known as a Bluebeard. That's what a Bluebeard's called. Oh. I didn't really know that was the actual word. We actually discussed that before, but apparently this is what a Bluebeard is called, is someone that does this. So, I mean, honestly, there's not a lot on this case. It's more the fucking mask, to be honest. And honestly, I want to read the book, but I'm not because it's...
Does anyone want to gift us this book?
No, because I don't even know if... Like, there's like one copy on fucking Amazon. Who even knows if that's like even real?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll go to the local bookstore because I definitely
want... Or a library.
Yeah, maybe. But the wife wrote the book, but as far as, so I use newspapers, and that's about it for what I use. And honestly, a lot of the newspapers weren't even from the UK because those don't exist for some reason. I think they were just trying to cover it up and keep quiet. But so anyway, he pled guilty on charges of children from 9 years old and one married woman.
Oh,
one 11-year-old girl had scratches on her back. Now, that was from the nailed wristbands. He was found guilty of 13 sexual offenses. He received 30 years imprisonment. The Attorney General, Mr. Peter Krill, said, quote, a cunning and hideous man who had deliberately gratified his lust for young children as and when he liked. Now, that was from the Evening Standard, 13th December 1971. They were talking about in the paper that 400 years ago, he would have been put to death for the rape because 400 years ago in this area, rape was a death sentence.
Ow.
So, So, I mean, guys, there's besides the mask and shit, you ain't gonna find any more information on this.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Malachi, once again.
Yeah, the guy, the one that went to the island, Alfonso, is actually really interesting. They said he was serving a life sentence in solitary confinement on his own will. He lacked any fresh food, meat, fruit, veggies. Very harsh winters. He said as soon as he was accused, he came back home. His home was ransacked. And his family's been there for generations. Home was ransacked. He would get spit on, rocks thrown at him and through his window. So he just got in a rowboat and left. And honestly, look at the dude. He doesn't look freaking happier, right?
No.
He's on his rock. There's like nobody. It's like a fucking rock.
Yeah.
Oh.
Crazy. I mean, that's like the ocean behind him.
Yeah.
I mean, to survive out there, man. Anyway, honestly, guys, it's nothing more on that case, man. I can give you. I want to, but
Wow.
I'll put all my sources on talkmore.com. It's basically I use like 6 or 7 newspapers to do that story. But besides the mask, which you definitely want to see, that's the Beast of Jersey, Edward Paisnel. Maybe one day I'll get the book.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you guys are staying on live chat, Nicole's going to do a quick story for us. She's going to do the Sugar Babe, Goodnight Sugar Babe case, and I guess we'll get started on that one. But for this episode, for the podcast listeners, but for this episode, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm sitting here with Jen and Nicole. My name is John. This is Talk More Movie Podcast. Until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely people.